English army, if it had access to a good Roman road that was well maintained, which frankly there weren't tons of them, but they could average something like 10 to 15 miles per day
Mhm.
on a good day if they didn't have a large baggage train to slow them down. If you had a cavalry unit that didn't have to travel with the army, they could average about 20 miles a day. The Viking longships could average 70 to 120 miles a day. So they're just moving in super fast motion. They could hit a place, raid it, drag off whoever they wanted, and get away before you could get your army there. It's just absolutely terrifying.
What do you think it felt like for Alcuin and the monks to see the Viking ships on the horizon? Do you ever think about, try to put yourself in the mind of those folks and imagining in that time, you don't have a full map of the world, right? And the oceans are not mapped, and you have a hazy conception of the world. And so out of the darkness from the ocean where you thought nothing can come, comes this terrifying, this brutal force. What do you think that felt like?
Honestly, I think it's the end of the world, and I don't think they were wrong to think that. The Anglo-Saxon Chronicle says the night before Lindisfarne, the monks saw sheets of lightning in the sky in the shape of dragons, and this is obviously meant to, foreshadow the dragon ships coming up. I can't imagine the horror. It would shake my faith, I'm sure, to have these these giant men jumping out of their ships with swords raised, and what do you have? Cross.
Were the Vikings aware of the fear that they had caused? So did they use fear as a kind of weapon, or was this just a side consequence of their actions, or did they understand and use it? Like the Mongols, Genghis Khan, the Mongols used the fear and the terror on purpose to
Yeah,
increase the chance that they wouldn't have to avoid fights, basically.
yeah, yeah. The Vikings absolutely used terror. It was a main weapon in their arsenal. They would attack specifically on high holy days like Easter, Christmas, because they knew there'd be higher value targets there with richer clothing, richer offerings, and there'd be a lot of money available. So they were rather sophisticated, which I think is something also that they don't get much credit for. It's like they were just dumb brutes attacking and just destroying. But it was very sophisticated. They would show up. This is what I mean when I say Viking wasn't their day jobs. They would be traders in say an English port, kind of looking around. They'd get everyone's schedule, then they would sail away and come back as Vikings, and they knew exactly where to go. They knew where all the money was held. They knew where all the churches were, when to attack. They knew the entire Christian calendar. They knew when someone's baptism was, when someone's confirmation. I mean, they were aware of all of this, and they would definitely attack to increase terror.
One of the signs of the intelligence of the Vikings is that the Viking Age is so short. So what happens is these explorers and these rough men who do the raids, they very quickly are good at conquering and then start state building, or conquering and then establishing trade routes, and stop being the quote unquote Vikings. So basically they conquer and then they start doing the usual build the institution, start a state, and now they're normal kind of nation civilization kind of thing. So this kind of force that is the conquering, raid, violent, intense explorers is like a short lasting thing, a couple of generations at most.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the Vikings were ultimately a pragmatic people who, if it worked, they would keep it, which is frustrating because they disappear so quickly because of that.
With very little trace
With
in the
very little
record,
trace.
with that
That's right.
very little writing.
That's right.
There's
Yeah.
no time for writing it down.
No. Yes. We're not doing that.